Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to install and configure Samba server. I have installed CentOS operating system in my virtual machine. I'm going to change the network adapters. Since my virtual machine is already turned on, I have to turn it off to change the setting. So here you can see there are a number of adapters you can attach to the virtual machine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use two adapters, one bridge connection and another adapter as host only adapter. So with the bridge connection I can access internet within the virtual machine, and I'm going to use that host only adapter to configure Samba server. So I'm going to use the terminal commands to install Samba server at the beginning. So the command you have to use is yum install Samba. And I'm going to install Samba client and Samba common. I have already configured the network connection within this machine, so all the necessary packages will be installed. Once the installation is complete, it will show that the installation process is completed. And if do not show that it is completed, you will have to reinstall it using the command. So here you can see it is completed. So here if I check the root folder, that means the root of the system, here I have Samba folder there, and the configuration can be changed using smb.conf file. So I have to make some changes to the file. So before doing that, I'm going to take a backup of the file. And now I'm going to modify the original file. Here I have used the work group as it is, and I'm going to remove the semicolon, that means a comment. So now I'm going to give the allowed host who can access the Samba server. So if I see Windows network settings, here you see that the network addresses are within 192.168 network. So I'm going to use this one, 192.168. That means all the hosts that belongs to that network will be able to access this Samba server. So if you want to change that, you can change the hosts allowed as you prefer. So thereafter, here I'm going to change these lines. I'm going to uncomment some of the sections and going to make changes. So when you access the Samba server, this will be displayed as public, and I'm going to use the folder Samba share. So you can give whatever the file you want to share using the Samba server here. So I have given /home/Samba share folder, but you can select any other location as you wish. And I'm going to allow writable, and I'm uncommenting this printable as well. So you can give permission, whatever the permission you wish to give. For an example, if you want to set valid users, you can use valid users equal the usernames you wish to allow access to this Samba server. So now I'm going to check whether the Samba server is turned on or not. So use the command service smb status to check the status of the Samba server. It's running. If you wish to restart, you can use service smb restart. If you want to stop, you can use service smb stop. So once you restart, it will shut down and start the service again. And I can make this turned on when I start the system using chk config smb on. So I have added that line as well. So you can add whatever the files you want to share within this smb share folder, Samba share folder. So here I'm going to add some text within this text file just to check whether I have accessed the correct file. So you can add any files you wish to share with the other hosts. Now I'm going to check the IP addresses of Linux machine and the Windows machine. I use ifconfig to see the IP address of the Linux machine, and I use cmd of the Windows machine to type ipconfig. And here I can see the Ethernet adapter VirtualBox host only network. It is 192.168.56.1, and the IP address of the Linux machine also within the same network. You can see it is 192.168.56.101. So when you configure your network interfaces, configure the interfaces so as to fold both the IP addresses within the same network. So I'm going to access the Samba server now. So I have to use the IP address assigned to the Linux machine. It is 192.168.56.101. So I typed it in the run dialog box in Windows machine. So when I click OK, it should display the files which I have shared within the Linux machine. So I think you remember that I have set that public name as it is. So it is displayed here as public, and once I click it, it's not accessing Windows. So the reason is that I haven't configured the Samba share file so as to give access to other hosts. So here permission, an advanced permission. I'm going to give the other permission, read, write, execute permission, and click OK. So once you've done, you can go back and check whether it's working. So now you see that the files we have already created are there, and this is the test file which I have created within the Samba shop folder. So this is how you access Samba server using your Windows system. So here in my VirtualBox, even though you see a Windows machine here, I have used the host machine which I have installed the VirtualBox to access Samba server. If you wish to configure another virtual machine for Windows, then you can configure that within the VirtualBox and check the connectivity between Samba server and your Windows machine. So if you have any problems connecting to the Samba server, there can be some reasons behind that. If you can't connect into your Samba server, check whether the necessary firewall settings are configured. Here I'm going to check the firewall in my machine. It is already set before. So what you want to do is go to your firewall and you have to put the tick mark here for the Samba and Samba client. So if your Samba server cannot give access to the Windows machine, check whether the firewall blocks those two services, and you can give access to those two services with using the firewall. So if you do not have this firewall configuration within your Linux machine, you can install the firewall here like this. Yum install system config firewall and system config firewall TUI. So by using this command, you can install the firewall, and thereafter you can go to your firewall settings as I did before and give access to the Samba services. So that's how we configure Samba server and access it using the Windows machine. So here another thing, when you access your Samba server, sometimes you will have an error like this. What you have to do is go to control panel and turn on Windows features. So you will have to put the tick here and this SMB 1.0/CIFS client. Once you do that, you will have no problem to access the Samba server.